The other week, my husband and I were driving home after visiting a beloved family member who is struggling with the to the bone pain and weariness of cancer. And as we lugged our car down the highway, my mind went to all the hardships that we humans endure on this earth, whether cancer, other diseases, wars, the gross inequality, injustices, the general disregard to our environment, and the poor innocent creatures trying to cling onto their life on it. And I know, obviously, driving a car and owning a car and living a modern lifestyle, I'm just like most other people who are contributing to the pollution of the earth, and I was just feeling more and more down. And then it happened, a horribly common occurrence that I believe, according to statistics, happens about 1,000,000 times or more a day in our country alone. So 1,000,000 times a day, every single day, a poor innocent animal was just plowed down by a car without a thought. And my husband he was driving, he was able to see this poor duck and slow down and swerve out of the way. We were hoping everyone else would do this. The car behind us, my husband saw in the rear view mirror, didn't slow down, just plowed over this duck who had been standing between lanes, just looking so fearful at the 65-mile-per-hour beast bearing down on it. And we were hoping he was going to make it across, but this car just, bam, didn't slow down in what looked like my husband thought was intent. Now I know, compared to everything else in our world, this is so small. But with everything else I was thinking about, it just came up as this huge volcano, emotional volcano for me, and I just lost it. I utterly lost it. So I was sobbing, saying how horrible it was to be a human being, how horrible this planet was. And you can imagine, by the way, on kind of a lighter side, how horrible it was for my poor husband being stuck in the car with me. He is a patient man. So anyway, we drive on. I eventually, the next day, I start to kind of just try to reach for hope, no matter how faint or distant, with how I was feeling. And I know, especially now with everything going on, I'm not alone at all with this disheartenment, whether it be our personal lives or just the general what's going on in our world. And I know also how very, very, very lucky I am. And I can bet as well that people who have lost loved ones due to the virus, due to other physical or mental conditions, or to the horrible plague of prejudice, are feeling even worse. So what do we do? What do we do when the world is breaking our hearts? Well, the first thing is very, very simple, and that is to acknowledge that not one person can fix the ills of our planet. It's just not possible. And once you recognize that you can't do everything, then you recognize, aha, but you can do one thing every single day, no matter how much pain you're in. Whether That means using your voice or the power of the pen to fight for equality and justice, to volunteer in whatever capacity for a nonprofit that you feel is meaningful, to support clean energy. And this is maybe the most important thing, to be there for your family, your friends, your neighbors. And I believe that just doing one little thing every single day is very powerful. And knowing we can do one little thing every single day is also powerful. The second thing we can do is to acknowledge our feelings. So many people push down their feelings of anxiety, sadness, depression, saying, so many people have it worse than I shouldn't be allowed to feel these feelings. But pushing down your feelings helps no one, least of all yourself. So process your feelings with trusted family members, friends, a counselor, and know this too, no matter how deep or how long you've been in despair or depression or anxiety, know too that these hard emotions do not have to be permanent fixtures in our emotional landscape. And that we can celebrate joy as well in maybe the not so distant future, even in the same day. So last but not least, and probably the most important thing to do too, is to tap into something that makes you feel bigger than yourself, that gives you a sense of calm, of strength, of awe. Whether that means God, a connectiveness to nature, studying and learning about the marvels of nature, the universe, the science, and just simply reading passages, reminding yourself, using even humor to remind yourself of hope, no matter how distant, no matter how faint, because we can all use a little hope.
Hey.
Thank you.
Great job.